Thank you, Nancy. Malema's partly built mansion is auctioned for 5.9 million, and the son of former Pakistan Prime Minister is kidnapped. That's in the news this hour here on SAFM. Good afternoon. The Sandown mansion belonging to expelled ANC Youth League President Julius Malema has gone under the hammer. It's been sold for 5.9 million rand. The half-finished property has been bought by Norman Tlobatla, CEO of a company called Magnified Designs. The home was attached by the court to help cover Malema's tax bill. The SABC's Lerato Makate was at the auction.
The highest estimated value of property in the area is believed to be between 3 to 4 million rand. Malema bought the property in 2009 for 3.6 million rand. He had the existing structure torn down and began building his own mansion. The plans provide for a private cinema room, a cigar lounge, a wine cellar, and a coffee bar, amongst other things.
Scores of people are picketing outside the Constitutional Court in Johannesburg as the case between the Gauteng Education Department and Livonia Primary School gets underway. The protesters want the court to rule against the school. In 2011, the school refused to admit a grade 1 learner, saying it didn't have the capacity. The department later ordered the school to admit the learner. The court is expected to decide on who has the final say on school admission policies, SGBs or the department. The SABC's Orisani Stole is in court.
A group of learners skipped class this morning to picket outside the Constitutional Court. Some can be seen carrying placards that read, "Quality education for all, Livonia affects us all." They are also singing the controversial Ayasala Magwala song. Meanwhile, the hearing continues in court. For SABC Radio News, I'm Morisani Sitole, the Constitutional Court.
Parliament is set to debate the use of Waterkloof Air Force Base by the Gupta family. This after the family's private jet landed at the Waterkloof Air Force Base last week. DA's chief whip in Parliament, Watty Watson, says the Speaker has approved a request for the matter to be debated. SABC parliamentary journalist Malema Mansion reports.
The DA says it's critical that Parliament be heard on this matter and that public representatives are able to exercise their constitutionally mandated oversight role. Watson also asks for President Jacob Zuma to be present during the debate so that he can answer some questions. He says the abuse of government resources in this scandal has seriously undermined the integrity and security of the state, and that Parliament must play its part to ensure that culprits are brought to book.
Swedish Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Bildt says the race by many developed countries to invest in African countries will empower the continent to choose what is best for it. Bildt, who is accompanied by a 5-minister delegation from his country, has been speaking on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Cape Town. Sweden plans to increase its investment in South Africa. Bildt explains.
The fact that we have 5 ministers from Sweden here sends a signal. It sends a signal to the Swedish business community. I think there will be an element of envy from other European countries, and that sends a signal as well that this is where the action will be. You better be here if you want to be part of the action of the future. We are competing, absolutely, and that's a good thing because that makes it possible for Africa to choose what is best from the offers that are there from the world.
To other parts of the continent, at least 23 policemen have been killed in Nigeria's central Nasarawa state in an ambush by a local militia. Officials say the soldiers were en route to arrest the leader of the outlawed Umbatse cult when the gunmen opened fire. Police say 17 officers are still missing. Members of the cult have allegedly been going to churches and mosques where they have been forcefully administering an oath of allegiance to unwilling people. The police were attacked in the village of Alakio near the state capital, Lafia. Overseas, former Pakistani Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani says his son has been kidnapped by unidentified gunmen during an election rally. Gilani says his son, Ali Haider, a candidate for the Pakistan People's Party, was seized in the central city of Multan. He has accused his political opponents of being behind the attack, which comes ahead of Saturday's parliamentary elections. One person is reported to have been killed when the attackers opened fire at the rally. Recapping the top story, expelled ANC Youth League President Julius Malema's partly built Sandown mansion has been auctioned for 5.9 million rand.